my predictions for the European tours. This is the video title for today. So, Japan, New Zealand. For me, that's an easy, it's not easy, but a comfortable win for New Zealand. I'm going to say by 12. Scotland, Australia. I think Australia by 7. Spain and Tonga. Tonga by 13. Scotland, Fiji. I'm saying Scotland by 10. Italy, Samoa. I'm saying Italy just with a narrow win. Like 2 or 3 points. Ireland, South Africa. I think that'll also be a really tight game. I think that's going to be a 3-pointer as well. France, Australia. For me, I'm going to say Australia. Just because they've been playing some good rugby. And I think they'll take it to the French. I think it'll be close. I think it's going to be a 3-point game. Romania, Chile. Chile is a bit of an unknown quantity, so I am going to say, just solely on the fact that Chile is a unknown quantity, I'm going to say Romania by 4. Georgia, Uruguay. Yeah, we've seen Uruguay play a couple of times. I think they can. We know that Uruguay can scare some teams, so I'm going to say Georgia by 5. England, Argentina. Yes, that is those two teams have been rivals, so and still are. So I'm going to say Argentina, controversially, by 3. Munster, South Africa select. I think the Tier 2 South Africa side will just blitz Munster off the park. So I'm going to say 30 for the Tier 2 South Africa. Georgia, Samoa. Again, I still think they're still fairly evenly matched teams. So I'm going to say Samoa by 2. Romania, Uruguay. Both these teams are fairly unknown. Like, Romania is one of the better teams in Tier 2 teams in Europe, so I'm going to say Romania by 5. Spain, Namibia. This will be a hard one. I haven't seen Spain play all that much, so I'm going to say Namibia by 2. England, Japan. I think England will have a walk in the park against Japan, so I'm going to say England by 12. Ireland, Fiji. I just think Ireland will just bulldoze Fiji, so I'm going to say Ireland by 20. Italy, Australia. I still think that we have a chance as Australia. We have a good chance. I'm going to say Australia by 35. Wales, Argentina. Another classic Battle of the Titans. So I'm going to say Wales by 2. France, South Africa. Another great game. So I'm going to say France by 3. Tonga, Chile. Again, I'm going to say the brute force of Tonga will be too much for Chile. So I'm going to say Tonga by 20. All Blacks 15 taking on the Barbarians in London. I still think that a Tier 2 All Black side will be way too strong for the Barbarians. So I'm going to say New Zealand by 10. Scotland, New Zealand, up at Murrayfield. I think this will be a bit closer because it's not the second string side. So I'm going to say Scotland only by 7. South Africa select Bristol Bears. This is in at Ashton Gate in Bristol. So I just think this Tier 2 South Africa will still be way too strong for Bristol. So I'm going to say South Africa by 30. Tonga, Uruguay. This is a bit of an unknown quantity again to two teams that have some brute force to them. So I'm going to say Tonga by 5. Tonga by Romania, Samoa. This one will be another big battle. They've got big front rows, but I just think the Samoans will be too strong for the Romanians. I'm going to say Samoa by 11. England, New Zealand. Again, a classic battle in London. I'm going to say New Zealand by 5. Wales, Georgia. I think Wales will be way too strong. I'm going to say Wales by 14 over Georgia. Italy, South Africa again. South Africa, even though I'd like Italy to win, I think South Africa will just have too much brute for the Italians. So I'm going to say South Africa by 20. Scotland, Argentina, another great battle, but this time I'm going to pick Argentina to win by 5. Ireland, Australia again. There have been some close battles in the past. So I think it will be a good game, but I'm going to say Australia by 5. French Barbarians, Fiji. I just think Fiji will be way too strong for the French Barbarians, so I'm going to say Fiji by 20. France, Japan. Yes, they've had some close battles. They had a close game in July in Japan, so I think anything can happen. So I'm going to say France by 10. England, South Africa, another great game. So I'm going to say South Africa by 9. And for the last game, Wales, Australia. It's in Cardiff, so the Welsh have the home advantage. But I still think the Australians might get up, so I'm going to say by 7.